the president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, has this to say. Pay attention to every word she's going to speak. This is the video. Watch it. I'm going to be reviewing the video after it's done. Listen.
Think about the Sahel region, one of the poorest, yes, yet fastest growing demographically. The succession of military coups will make the region more unstable for years ahead. Russia is both influencing and benefiting from the crisis, and the region has become fertile ground to the rise of terrorism. This is of direct concern for Europe, for our security and our prosperity. So we need to show the same unity of purpose towards Africa as we have shown towards Ukraine. This is a must. We need to focus on cooperation with legitimate governments and regional organizations. We need to develop a mutually beneficial partnership which focuses on common issues for Europe and Africa. And this is why, together with HRVP Borrell, we will work on a new strategic approach to take forward at the next EU-AU summit.
Now listen to what he said. He made some points of which I'm going to be reviewing one after the other. Please listen to it and listen attentively. He said this is of direct concern for Europe, for security and prosperity. That means the prosperity of Europe lies in Africa. In her own words, not my words, she said this is for security and prosperity, because if it doesn't concern Europe, I don't know why she's talking about it. Africa is not a subcontinent of Europe, so she's not supposed to be speaking about Africa, because there's no African president or African whatever that is speaking on behalf or on Europe. So listen, now she said Russia is both influencing and benefiting from the crisis. But Madam President, this is what you all are guilty of. This is my problem with these people right now, because they accuse Russia of the same thing they are doing. France is guilty, the United States is guilty, China is guilty. They are all guilty of extorting Africa from the Berlin Conference of 1884-1885. They've been very, very active in exploiting Africans. And they are trying to make it look as if Russia is the bad guy here, whereas every one of you has been exploiting Africa. And I tell you this, it is not a good thing. Come out from your closet, reveal yourself. You are all the same. None of you mean well for Africa. So stop acting as if you're trying to save Africa from Russia. You are all doing the same thing. She also said, so we need to show the same unity of purpose towards Africa as we have showed towards Ukraine. This is a must. This is a must. They need to show the same unity of purpose towards Africa like Ukraine. So when you see that there is a conflict in Africa, something like war, a lot of people dying and all that, remember where it's coming from, because she said they are going to talk about it in the next EU-AU summit, EU-European Union and African Union summit together, of which many of those EU people or the people in the AU are just puppets. Listen to this. He also said, we need to focus on cooperation with legitimate government and regional organization. Madam President, I want to ask you, legitimate by what standard? Is it your standard or the standard of the people? I thought a leader is legitimate because the people decide who it should be. If the people of Burkina Faso says Ibrahim Traore is their legitimate leader, why are you having a problem with it? Is it because he refused to be a puppet? Madam President, I would like to tell you that this is the 21st century. This is 2025. This is not 1960 or 1945. This is a different time. And if you listen to the news or you listen to what's going around, a lot of people are coming together because they now understand your gimmicks. They now understand your game. So it's either you come out and be truthful to yourself and let us work together as a globe instead of somebody extorting the other person for his gain. It is not supposed to be like that. Remember, you cannot put people under forever. That's why slave trade did not thrive. But I know that slave trade was stopped for something higher like this. This is a state capture. It is not going to continue. Whatever you do, you kill lots of people, doesn't matter. The initiative is there. The awakeness is there. People are now woke. People are now enlightened to what is going on, and it will not continue. So I will advise you that you come legit. Don't come as someone that's come to extort Africans. It is not going to work. This is not business as usual. What is going on in the Sahel of Africa is for Africans alone. If Africans are not complaining, I don't know why you, as the president of the European Commission, is complaining and wants to take actions. A lot of you are blaming Russia for the same thing you're doing, and it's not good. And it's kind of funny because these people stand as United Nations, and some of the points or the reason for the United Nations is to make a world where there is freedom. You know, people can be what they want to be, countries can be what they want to be. But why are you going against what you believe? It is not supposed to be that. So this is what I'm telling you today. Africans are done being slaves.
The questions that my generations are asking are the following. If I may summarize, it is not understanding how Africa, with so many riches on our soil, with a generous nature of water, abundant sunshine. Africa is today the poorest continent. Africa is a hungry continent. And how is it that we, as heads of state, travel the world begging? These are questions we are asking ourselves, and for which we have no answers so far. We have the opportunity to forge new relationships, and I hope these relationships can be the best to provide a better future for our peoples. My generation also asks me to say that due to this poverty, they are forced to cross the ocean to try to reach Europe. They die in the ocean, but soon they will not cross because they will come to our palaces to seek their daily sustenance. As for Burkina Faso, today we have been facing for more than 8 years the most barbaric, the most violent form of neocolonialism, of imperialism. The slavery that they still tend to impose on us. Our predecessors taught us one thing well. The slave who is not capable of assuming his revolt does not deserve pity for his fate. We do not pity ourselves, and we do not ask anyone to pity us. The Burkinabe people have decided to fight against the terrorists in order to revive their development. In this struggle, brave peoples, courageous populations have committed to taking up arms against terrorism. Those whom we have affectionately called the VDP, the volunteers. We are surprised to see the imperialists label these VDP as militias and all sorts of things. It's disappointing because in Europe, when people, Bob, take up arms to defend their homeland, they are called patriots. Our grandfathers were deported to save Europe. It was not with their consent, against their will. And well, upon their return, we remember well that in Traore, when they wanted to claim their basic rights, they were massacred. So it doesn't matter then. When we, the people, decide to defend ourselves, we are labeled as a militia. But that is not the problem. The problem is seeing African heads of state who bring nothing to these people who are fighting, but who sing the same tune as the imperialists by labeling us as a militia, by calling us people who do not respect human rights. What human rights are we talking about? We are outraged by this, and it is shameful. We, African heads of state, must stop behaving like puppets that dance every time the imperialists pull the strings. Yesterday, President Vladimir Putin announced the sending of grains to Africa. We are very pleased. We thank him for that. But also, it is a message sent to our African heads of state, because at the next forum, we should not come here without having ensured for those who do not know war, the food self-sufficiency of our peoples. We must learn from the experience of those who have already achieved this in Africa, build good relationships here, and foster better relations with the Russian Federation to meet the needs of our populations. I may not be long, the allotted time is very short. We are obliged to stop at some point, but I would like to conclude by saying that we must pay tribute to our peoples who are fighting.
So we're live. So we are U.S. Embassy, right in Jamaica. Every Rasta there. And we are sending a message to America. Enough is enough. We don't not touch Ibrahim Traore. We don't not gonna touch him. We don't use Obama. And we don't bomb up it. We don't bomb up down so and take the Gaddafi from away. We don't not gonna touch Ibrahim Traore. And enough more people want to touch the way. Donald Trump and you, Mr. Langley, or where you want to name, the captain, you need to understand. So the spirit of the ancestors are here. And a long time black people are hold back. No, we not hold back. If you touch Ibrahim, you touch Jamaicans. You touch real Africans in Jamaica. And every American in Jamaica needs to be careful if we don't touch him. Are we serious?
Very serious. Very serious.
We're very serious.
Very, very serious.
And I'm not talking.
No, and the king that.
Yeah. Oh. Repatriation and reparation. Oh. The most. Yeah. See there, boy. See there. See there. Ibrahim Traore. Oh, see there. Oh, yeah. And we stand for business in Jamaica. And we not left. We just come from a hero circle. And we there just across from American Embassy. Andrew Holness, Mark Golden. The whole of us should have out there, but we know who for side on the depon. I think we don't know who for side on the depon. We know the whole of the MP. We should have out there with the MPs, one of them. And the AC, a plan for thief more money. And a drunk up. I think we are playing. Oh, then the pan job. Then the pan no job. Then the pan job for thief. Oh, Ibrahim Traore. Every Jamaican should have out there, sir. Every Jamaican. We're different Ibrahim Traore all the way from Jamaica. And that's a message we are sending throughout the whole Africa. To Jamaica, yeah. Representation. Every Rasta there. A Rasta for run the country. And them real. Fake Babylon people in our system will live to come out. A criminal. Oh. One for all for one. One for all for one.
Not have left it just for the Rastas.
Yes.
Pioneer the forefront of this. This concerns all Africans. Any destruction plan for the destruction of Africa concerns all of us.
Yes.
And we are set. Church pastors will ask you Sunday morning,
Yes.
Sabbath, return to sender. Return to sender. Any destruction of plan. You decide of only to be concerned about my state. But the upliftment and liberation of all Africans.
Yeah.
Anything of plan, negative, just a return to sender.
Return to sender.
Return to sender.
Boy. See people in there. Live. Live like a wire. See people in there. Leave Ibrahim Traore on the go America. And a Jamaica next. I think we are playing. We don't send CIA agents and all kind of people to destabilize people's economy. We're sick and tired of UNO. America and France and Europe. We don't go revolution.
Red, white and blue.
Revolution.
Nothing to do with you.
Revolution.
No red, white and blue.
No red, white and no blue.
Red, green, gold and green.
Oh, you mean?
Remember me tell you.
So we're here at the French embassy. We're standing on business. We just left the American embassy. I can proudly say I was the person who was delegated to pretty much go inside the embassy and handed the letter pretty much asking to cease and desist their pursuit after Ibrahim Traore, and we're very serious. So now we're at the French embassy and we're standing on business. Rastafari movement. Big up Rasta for standing up for our African brother. Jamaica no for rise up, you know. No for rise up. And no politician no come out and come support we. Because we already know who them stand with. But you see what has been happening with Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Traore? It has resurrected every ancestral spirit inside of us. A time come that we take over. Yep, Mr. Antoine present everybody. French embassy. Yep. And of course, a letter to the French government that we here in Jamaica, we're standing on business in support and defense of Ibrahim Traore. Leave Ibrahim Traore alone or else.
So that's you.
Can't say never hear.
I'm asking if that's you.